beautiful masculine. How are you all doing? This is the reading for the divine masculine for this week. I did a lot of twin flame readings last week, so it's time for the divine masculine. And they told me to get the psychic tarot of John Holland and the heart tarot of John Holland and combining them. So that's what I'm going to do today. Is using the tarot. And what's going on in the divine masculine mind space, it's all about the throat chakra. Open up your mouth, open up your throat chakra. It's communication from the heart, it's communication from your heart space, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and also about if you're not content with something and things won't go your way, or that you expected something different, and or you gave you said you know you wanted this and somebody else gave you something different, to speak up and to say, no, that's not what I want, that's not what I meant. I want the right thing, you know, what's on here, that's what I want, and not just agreeing with it because they want it to get easier, you know, to get the easy way out, and just leave you with something that's not worth the money, right? So or they exchange something for something cheaper than the original that you bought. So there are and that it's the combination between the heart chakra and the third dimensional realm that needs to be in alignment. So if you say, okay, I want this, and they give you something different, and they say, ma, maybe it's even better than the other product. Trust your instinct, trust your heart, trust what you researched. You know, if you research your product, then and they give you something different, speak up, because if you don't, that means that the throat chakra is blocked, and that you're not able you get disappointed and you get aggravated, and aggravation with yourself, you know. And if you say, okay, if you can let it go, perfect, and you say, I'm going with it, that's perfectly fine. But you need to set your boundaries to someone else. If you're not, and I feel it has to do with buying a product, or buying a car, or buying something else, that you say, okay, it's not the way I expected it to be, you know, speak up and just bring it back, instead of agreeing for the sake of it, you know, and then saying, okay, yeah, well, let's stay with it. That means that you have to break through the boundaries, break through the boundaries of someone else, the boundaries someone else is giving you, break through that space, you know. And it's probably your own limitations. If you have been silenced as a child, and you have difficulties now to speak up because because that's the conditioning you're in, then you need to expand yourself and train yourself to get over those boundaries and breaking through. And that's what I feel that is going to happen with the divine masculine. And there is healing on the throat chakra, there's healing on the heart. So I think that if you acknowledge, you know, I also hear it's acknowledging the grief in your heart space. You know, acknowledging the grief in your heart space and speak it out, so people know what's going on with you. You know, that's what I hear. So what's in the divine masculine's heart space? Oh, darkest fears. And it could be the devil, it could be fear from other people, that other people put fear into you. Don't go in that space, because that's the weird part of it, you know, that other people, when you listen to other people and you hear the warnings and you know, you have to do this and you have to do that, but if you not in alignment with them, when you're not in alignment in that space, you know, then you know for sure that it's their experience, it's their timeline, and what's going to happen is when you're around it, above it, and or you're on a timeline of higher frequency, then this won't affect you, you know. Why would you be dark in your heart? You know, why would you listen to get the fear in your heart space? You know, if you're going to your heart space, there's only light. So that means that you're expressing the mind. You're expressing the mind, you know, and expressing your fears can influence other people. So yeah, it could be that divine masculine goes to fears of the past, that goes through, and that he needs to speak the fears from his heart, you know, that is fearful to go there, you know, to that dark space, and open that shadow space of yourself, and that speaking that out, you know, what is your negative side, what is the what is your dark side, you know, what needs to be transformed within you. When you start to speak that out, you know, that those fears can come up to be transmuted. So let's see what the higher self is saying, but also know that you can transform those fears by going to the light, to meditate, to get in that loving space of yourself, because the darkness can be solved by the light and by the love. So please, divine masculine, if you hear anything from the outside, you know, that is negative, that other people see as the truth, and don't let yourself get into that fear, because if you get into that fear, that's their fear they're projecting onto you. And you know, maybe you know in the backside of your mind that there is a truth in it. You can prepare yourself for it, but don't get into their fear. You know, they're projecting their fear onto you because it's their truth. It's the timeline they're walking. If you're going in a timeline of abundance, why would you be afraid of lack? Only people who are in that space of lack are in fear. So don't let that fear get into you. Please, divine masculine, don't let it get into you, because it is affecting your heart. It's affecting your light. It's affecting your love. Okay? Here it is. Walk away, because you have your own wisdom. Your higher self saying it's you have your own wisdom. Don't get in that space of someone else. Don't let someone else project that fear onto you. You know, and it's always that fear has always to do with attachment. You know, that attachment and control. So even the dark side is playing out into the spirituality, into this attack energy of spiritual people want to bring down their vibration. So go in that higher vibration so it won't affect you. Go to that light and search and feel and listen to that wisdom that the light has to tell you. Not what the dark has to tell you, because, you know, sometimes there are people that are coming from just the mind and not connecting with the light within themselves. There's always nagging, there's always negativity, there is always this space of not good enough, you know. Let it go and dive into your own wisdom. That's what your higher self says. Your higher self says you have your wisdom, you have your book of knowledge, you have you know, the family that you're in, 111. You know, that's it. You have your surroundings, you have your family, what makes you happy, what gives you contentment, and look to the light. Don't go in that shadow side. What's going on now with the 999, with the, you know, the 911, what we had, you know, with the death of the queen, you know, and saying everybody has to grieve. What the heck? Why do we have to grieve for someone we have not an intimate connection with? So don't take it on. Don't take on that grief energy. You know, grieve for someone that you love. Grieve for someone that is next to you. But don't grieve for someone where you have no intimate connection with. That it's just on a distance. So, no, don't go there. So let's see what the divine feminine is, because the whole collective sucks you into that energy. That's what they want. And then when we have a king, we can all celebrate. No, we don't. We don't have an intimate connection with that. It's a projection from the outside world. It's an illusion. The only thing that counts is the people that are close to you, your family members, and don't get distracted with everything what's going all around there. Don't get distracted by it. Because when you get distracted, they get your energy. And it's all about that. It's all about it. Okay, how does this see the divine feminine? That she has her intuition and that he is following her intuition. He sees that she has an intuition, that she has knowledge from above, that she gets channeled, that she has information that nobody else sees, and that he is following her intuition. It's the priestess, the high priestess, and it's the intuition of the feminine. He knows that she's connected with the higher source, and he knows that there is a truth in what she's saying because she has that connection. And he is trusting in that. He is following that. And that's what his higher self says. His higher self says, you know, follow that intuition, because it's not abacadabra. It's what is going ahead. It's what's coming up for you. And she showed already so many times that she was right with her predictions. And instead of going to the darkness, what someone else is projecting to you, hi lovely, that someone else is projecting to you, just let it go, because it's just a projection. Okay, so trust the intuition and trust the prophecies of the feminine. And he sees that she's following her intuition and that she's on the right path, and it brings her abundance, it brings her prosperity, and she's glowing, she is walking that energy, she's walking that path, and it's really, really amazing. And he wants the same for himself. That's what he wants. He says, that's what I want. I want the same as the feminine, because I see she's doing so well, and I'm starting my healing journey. I'm starting now to do the things for myself. Yeah, I know, lovely. It's a collective things. It's a collective thing, and in that collective we have to move on. You know, we have to stay in that collective. So he is following her intuition. So let's see what the other cards are saying. My cards are flipping out everywhere. So what is his challenge? His challenge is to spread his wings, and move forward on his path. And maybe he's just at the beginning of his journey, you know, and wants to go to that light, and coming out of that fear and out of that darkness that is a projection from the outer world. You know, it's and that fear and that darkness and that control has a hold on his heart, has a hold on his heart space. So now he's breaking free. He wants to break free through all boundaries, you know, and jump over all boundaries, and freeing himself and saying, no more. I want to find it out on my own. But the fear is still there. But even if you're fearful, you know, take the first steps, because through the fear, you need to have the courage to get through that fear, to leave those old programs and boundaries behind you. And then the light will come, you know. And I've been there, so I can speak out of experience also, not only what I channeled, but also out of experience. You know, there is this happening in your life. If you lose a beloved, you know, you going into the darkness like switch, and you have to get out on your own without any help from anyone. You know, sometimes there are people around you that can give you a hand, and helping hand, but you have to do it on your own. You have to do it step by step. And that journey can be a long journey before you're in that space that you can say truly to yourself, I'm happy, I'm content with myself, I love myself, I like myself. And you know, and that's where the divine masculine is heading towards. You know, I like myself, I love myself, I'm taking the step, I have the courage to overcome everything what is going around, you know, all the projection, all the people. I don't need to listen to other people, I just need to listen to the intuition, my intuition, the intuition of the feminine, because the intuition is your feminine side. The intuition is your inner wisdom that comes from your heart space. That's not coming from your mind. It's that the mind is, it's getting controlled by fear all around us. So let it go, you know. And I see that spreading his wings and going through all those boundaries that is set for the masculine for so many times is his challenge. That's his challenge. And I feel in everything, if I meet the divine masculine, you know, that he needs to know that he is light, that he is loved, you know, even if we have dark side in us, you know, express those dark sides, you know, so it don't have a hold on you. Acknowledge that dark side, because if you don't acknowledge that dark side, it will keep controlling you, you know. It keeps repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. And what I see, the divine feminine isn't impressed by it. She knows that it works like that. She knows where you are at in that dark space. She knows that that's a shadow side of you that want to push her away, or that is trying to control her, or trying to get an emotion out of her, so you can control that you are above that, above her again. So it's not about that mind game, you know. It's not about that. It's divine feminine knows that there are mind games being played, but she's not giving into it, because she keeps her energy high, and she keeps herself going to that light, you know. So she is not impressed. She is in that happy space. And I see that some masculines want to try to get her down in a lower vibration, but you can't, because she is the light. She is that light, because she is totally filled up with that light. So you can't get her there. And you know, and if that's the way the divine masculine thinks about the divine feminine, to move over her and to try to control her, you know, without knowing she is gone. Even if she's there with you, she's not there. 222, right, guys? 222. She is out of there. Have trust and have faith, and break through all the boundaries of your shadow side. And you know, speak it out. Speak out what is bothering you, because most of the time it's coming out of the wounded child issues. It's coming out of the wounded child. And the more we support each other, and the more we connect with each other as masculine and feminine together, you know, we're healing each other, and that's beautiful. So what is he going to do about it? Nature, nurturing yourself, take care of yourself, you know, take care and nurture yourself. Maybe you need a feminine energy around you to guide you through those dark sides, through those dark energies. It's also that we all know that the spiritual people and the spiritual community is under attack now, and we know it. And when we know it, we can change it. And that's the most beautiful thing that you can do about it. You know, we all are magicians. We are the illusionists of our own mind. So if somebody comes to me and tell their story, I listen, and I listen also to the tone of their voice, because sometimes the voice is full of frustration, is full of fear, and you feel that. You feel, okay, but that's your timeline. That's where you are at. I'm not there. I am not going there. Why should I go in your fear? Because you're coming from a place of lack. You're coming from a place of a different vibration than me. That's why I don't connect with you, because you're in that vibration. I'm not that I'm better, not that that the divine feminine is better than the divine masculine. She has the intuition to feel, okay, I have to go that way or I have to go this way. And if my intuition says, oh, you know, remove yourself from that energy, remove yourself, remove yourself, because you feel the difference of vibration. And that's the thing. So what is the higher self saying about the divine feminine? And that's the card of flow. The divine feminine says, I'm going with flow. I'm going with this energy and saying, you know, I'm in this flow, I'm vibrating, I'm everything is fine. I'm going to the light, I'm going to that high vibration. There is also, and that's what is very, very interesting. The fear is created by the third dimensional realm, by all the big companies, by the New World Order, by everything that they want to put onto us. They want to get fear into our hearts, that everything will be taken away from you. They can't take away anything what they don't owe. They don't owe you. They don't have your sovereignty. So don't get into that fear. Let it go. Go to it. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Create. Sing. Laugh. Dance. And see what happens. You create more of it. And everybody who's going in that fear, I let them go in that fear. And that's something what the divine masculine really, really, really wants. He wants to break free to all those boundaries. He wants to have that feeling that he can go to the light. So that's what you need to do. You don't need to do it. I won't I won't suggest that you have to do anything. I'm just channeling here the energy from source, from the highest good of for the divine masculine, that he can go to that light, you know, that he can feel a joy and abundance and creativity, happiness and fun. The only thing you have to do is discipline and make time for yourself to nurture yourself. Not by doing, but just by being. You know? Well, that's it, you know? The divine feminine and the divine masculine are already in that flow of friends. But they're still connected, more connected to the third dimensional realm than the divine feminine is. Because the divine masculine is connected with his mind space, you know, is connected to that realm. And he wants to break free and he wants to get to that light. So it will make it more easier for him. You know, there is this friendship, there is this connection, but it's still it's still it's still the fear that's holding them back. It's the devil, it's the outside world, it's the projection of other people that get him down every time. And they're more because they're more in their mind space, it's easier to influence them than when you're in your light and in your heart space and already in that light space of love and and harmony and joy. So divine feminine is only here to help him and to break free and to nourish him to go to that light. And he needs to nourish himself. You know, we all walk that path from darkness to light. And that's when the enlightenment comes in. And when you're in that light, in that space of love and light, and in that space of total surrender, you know, nobody owes you anything, and they won't own you if you don't let them. Okay, so that's what I feel so strongly for the divine masculine, and I'm getting all this energy channeled, and I feel the fairness of the divine that says, come on guys, you know, stand up, wake up, and do this for yourself. Don't listen just and listen to it and think, yeah, okay, I don't believe it. Fine, don't believe it. But then don't complain when the shit hits the fan and you're in that space where you are now, and even go deeper. You know, you're halfway there, you're halfway to the light. And if you don't continue with your practices, you know, you're going like this. So that's what the divine is saying, and what source is saying, you know, get to that space of nurturing yourself, taking time for yourself, relax. Okay, let's see how the higher self is seeing the divine feminine. The higher self is seeing the divine feminine as balanced. Balanced in her space, balanced in her energy, creating protection. She is protected. And in that protection, she is, you know, the magician. It's also is carrying all the elements of the magician. And that's it. It's like the divine feminine is more in balance in this time of darkness than the divine masculine. And what's darkness? You know, we all carry that darkness, but we have to go through it and speak it out and speak your truth and talk about your shadow side. Because if we talk about our shadow sides and our darkness and our flaws, you know, with our in a yeah, he will take her lead. That's exactly when we are created in that safe space, you know, then and we speak about our sufferings, our grief, our shadow sides, what is being there, put there by programs of other people or our past or our ancestors. And if we break through that, you know, we're moving up to a higher frequency, and what we change within us, we change in the collective, we change in the divine masculine, because what's within me, it's in him. And when we change that energy, he will change that energy. So it will balance each other out, and then, you know, there is peace. Because I have a feeling that it has a lot to do with the inner boy, you know, the inner child that is scared, and everything is getting projected from the outside world. Because, you know, how do I call it, the shadow side, the shadow knows exactly what your wounds are, and they want to get on those wounds to get your energy down. And the only thing you have to do is, you know, go to the light, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, good food, good sleep, and let it all go. And the divine feminine will hold that space for you, like she is in balance. You will also come into that balance space when you're connecting with her in the fifth dimensional realm. Okay, is she giving you that energy? You know, is she giving you that love and energy and that nurturing in the fifth dimensional realm? And what I see is yes, because when they're in the fifth dimensional realm and they're from the heart space, they're both in balance. They're both in balance. It's not just then the divine feminine, it's the divine feminine and the divine masculine within herself that is in balance, and that will, when she is going up in the fifth dimensional realm, you know, and you meet her in that same space, you know, you both are balanced out, you know. So it works equal. So get out of your um, out of your dark space, because you know, as divine masculine, you know that you're there. Okay. And I also know that the love from the divine feminine towards the divine masculine is unconditional. You know, doesn't matter what you did, because the divine feminine knows that everything that is played out is karma. It's not about the divine masculine and divine feminine at all. It's just the collective karma that is playing out one to one. You know, it's all about the light and the darkness. You know, oh, the divine feminine who is standing in the light, you know, and there with the divine counterpart, there will always be a darkness. There will always be a shadow side that try to rip them apart, because they're together, they're a power team. Together they're strong. So no matter what, they will always try to take them apart. And it's up to you if you let them or you don't. And it doesn't matter how they do it, or they do it with alcohol, or they seduce you with sexuality, or they get you to drugs. Doesn't matter how it is, they will find a way to interrupt this twin union. Okay, so what is about the divine masculine and feminine coming together in union? It's about obstacles and challenges. Well, I don't have to tell anything more because I just channeled it. There will always be an interference of an energy that try to stop you, to break your boundaries. So go not to set your boundaries, to break through the boundaries that other people set for you. That other people say, okay, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to break free through it, because that's a challenge. It's a challenge for the divine masculine to go beyond, and search for his freedom, you know, and take that leap of faith and take that step, take that challenge, you know. Don't keep on the safety side for yourself, even if it's scary. If even your mind is saying, I'm fearful, I can't do this, what will happen if this and this and this? Well, then you're opening a loop and you're getting in that fearful state, and that will hold you from every step you want to take in your life. Because if you let yourself be stopped by the steps that you've taken and the path that you've taken on, you know, and you let yourself be held back by that, guess what? Everything in your life will be blocked. Everything in your life will be challenged. Yeah. So everything will be blocked. And that's it. That's just it. If you're not taking that leap of faith now, because there are energies that will withhold you, they will keep on going, withholding you with every adventure, action, situation, relationship that's coming your way, that will withhold you, because they hooked in to your patterns. And if you say, move out, I don't need that energy, you're not welcome in my field, you know, and I take the step, even if I know this is broken, to make it whole again. And I go from this side, yeah, my side, your side, and I take that leap of faith to the other side, and I keep on walking, because I know when I take this leap of faith and I take this step, that I will walk to the light. But Jesus, that gap is really deep. That gap is really deep. And what the heck will happen when I fall down? And if you have trust, and trust in the divine, and that you be whole and safe, and surrender to it. Hi Tina, lovely. When you take that leap of faith, you will be held. You won't fall. You won't fall. You take that leap of faith. Let's see it like this. And you walk in that path. Okay, guys. This is for you. Go with the flow. Don't let anything withhold you from walking your path. Because it's just the old program that is trying to withhold you to reach your goal. And it's the abundance, it's the love, and just let it all flow. Yes, Tina, let it all flow. And I see you next time. Don't resist, accept from what is. Bye bye, see you all next time.